Well, hello there and welcome to a new video series. Today we are playing Timberborn, which is an early access game, so it isn't finished yet, but well, it is already an awesome game. I already tried it and yeah, it is a good game. So I wanted to make a series about this and show you all. Now, what is Timberborn? Timberborn is a city builder but with beavers. Beavers live like in a colony. They build houses from wood. They are pretty sophisticated for beavers, I might add. And with living in a settlement, they have their basic needs like water, food and stuff like that. Housing and leisure. And we need to provide that. However, we have droughts in this game, which means that the water that we have just disappears, and it disappears for longer and longer times, which is quite a challenge because, well, everything lives off water. So that is basically the game. Now, like I said, I already tried this game and it is just awesome. We just had a major update on the game as well, which adds multiple new buildings and also fixes a few things. And we are just going to start with a new game. So we have two factions. We have the Folktales and we have the Iron Teeth. The Iron Teeth are already unlocked because I already played the game. You can unlock these if the well-being of the beavers is 11. And I already managed that while testing it out. However, we are not going to play with these guys. We are going to play with Folktales. They are easygoing but hardworking, and they are expert farmers. Their motto is comfort, food and sturdy wood. So we are going to start with these, and the next step that we need to choose a map right here. I had a look at the maps and this one seems a nice enough challenge to do. So we are going for the terraces. And we are going to start the game on normal. And we might eventually go on to hard. But as we lack a little bit of experience as of yet, we are going to start on normal. So without further ado, let's start the game. Alright, so there we are. Now first of all, we are going to name our settlement, which will be RAHtown. And there are the beavers. I'm gonna pause the game real quick. And we're going to take a look at the beavers. These are our guys that need to do everything. They look really cute. Right, so we have a district right here, and the green lines is from until where the district continues. So it stops on the green line right here. So as you can see, we now have District 1. We're going to rename this real quick to, let's select this to home base. There we go. Well, we are starting out with 130 berries, which is good because as each settlement we need food, water for them to survive. We need housing for them. They do survive without housing, but as you can see here on the left, they are now 11 homeless. We have 7 adults and 4 children, but they are all homeless, which means they do not procreate. They only do that if there are houses available and if the the well-being is high enough. The well-being, as you can see, consists of hunger, thirst, sleep and shelter, which are the basic needs. Then we have the nutrition, and each different food type or social life type or aesthetics type will, if you have this, then it will increase the well-being. And there is a whole list of stuff. Well, most of it we cannot do at the moment as of yet, because that you need knowledge points for that to unlock. And I will come to the knowledge points in a bit. But so this is how it works. We need to keep our beavers happy. Now, we have 130 food, which is fine for the moment, for now. We don't have any wood as of yet, and we don't have any water. Now, water is essential for them to live, so we need to start with that. I'm going to deselect this one. And down here we have the water. And as you can see, the water pump produces every 0.33 hours 1 water. We need one of these, and we need a water tank to fill up. However, this costs wood. As you can see, this is 12 wood. and we have none at the moment. So we need to gather the wood right here. To do that, we need to place a lumberjack flag. And if I can show you, and again the green is in which area the lumberjack will operate. Now this can be outside of the scope of the district, as long as the flag itself is inside the district. Now we want all of this, so we want, let's see, we want the bottom there as well. That should be fine. Can we go one higher? We can even go one higher. And we're gonna place 3 like that, because we need quite a lot of wood at the start. Then we need a road. And we need a road to connect to here. As you can see, if I do, well, no, as you can see, now the road is nothing, and here the road is green. So we need to connect this to here. And now the road is connected. Alright, so we are going to unpause the game. Now these 2 guys are the builders or the workers. They will build and they will transport items when they are idle. And we can set them to 4, so we can do a whole lot at once. Meanwhile, while they are building, we need to set up the food gathering as well. And we want all of these berries right here. So, and I'm gonna pause right here because we have an icon, which I'm gonna explain. Put this one down. Again, we want a road towards it, so that it can be built. So this one now has an icon above it, which states here, nothing to do in range. But there are trees here. Well, yes, but we need to designate the trees to be cut. So we want this area to be cut like that, and the same here. And now they can start cutting these trees right here in this area. And as you can see, the icon is gone as well. So you get a nice warning if something isn't right. So, right, as you can see, one is sitting here because there's nothing to do. But we are going to give them something to do. For all this wood, these guys can store, I believe, 20. Well, we're gonna check that in a sec, but I believe they can store some wood inside here. However, that's not enough. We need some log piles. Is that smart to do here? Probably not, because we want to build other things here. So let's put them here and here. And then let's connect that as well. And what you also can see here is that at the start of the district, the line is bright green, and it becomes more and more yellow. And if you even go further, it becomes red. Now, what does this mean? The further you go, the harder it is, and the longer it takes for all the beavers to get there. So that's what this line indicates. And once you are on red, it just stops, and that is the end of the district. You cannot expand that anymore. As you can see here, these guys are cutting down the wood. Yeah, see, there are 20. They can have 20 in stock. And the 4 builders are putting the wood inside the wood storage. Right, so we are gathering wood, which is good. Now we need to set up the water. So we need a water pump. And for this we need to look at it, because, well, we don't want it in the way. And we can do 2 together right here. Then we need the paths to connect, of course, and we go like that. That should be reachable. It is. Meanwhile, these guys are just hacking away. Someone is here. No, no one is here. Hang on. We need... and this is something in the game which I don't like that much. But you get used to it. You cannot select here. You cannot click here and select a worker that is not... no, well, hang on. Let me try that again. Okay, so if there are unemployed workers, then it will be assigned to a place automatically. However, if you, like we have now, we have 4 of 4 in the district center, we have 3 of 3 on the lumberjack flag. So we have 0 unemployed, and we still have a gathering flag that we need someone. If we want a beaver right here, then we need to get them from somewhere else. So we are going to set this one to 3 and pause the game again. And one will disappear, one of the 4. And there we go, it will go there. So we now are gathering here as well. As you can see, these are building. Right, we need to speed this up a little bit. And we need some water tanks. We're gonna start out with 6, no, delete that one. We want this to have the priority, this priority, then this one, and that one. And this one is what some lower priority, because we only have 11. You know what? Even we're gonna set this back and we're gonna pause this construction. This is for later. They need to build this first, and obviously first this one. So they are now gathering or grabbing the wood from here and bringing it to the construction site. And as you can see, 8 of 12. If we speed up a little bit, the build process is already 75%. And there we go, we have a building. Now again, we have the same issue. We don't have any workers free at the moment, so we need to take one from here. That one will go into here and gather the water for us. So now it is nighttime and I'm gonna be a horrible one. These are the working hours. I'm now setting it to 20 hours. So they work harder and no, not harder, they work longer hours. As you can see in between here, this is the nighttime and the rest is day. In the beginning we need this extra time because we don't know when the drought is coming, and we can see that here, but we don't know when it is, so we need them to work, well, pretty much some longer hours and gather the extra wood and build extra buildings. Alright, so the next step for us is to build a small warehouse for us to house all the goods that we gather. And let's put it there. Now the reason that I'm putting it one back is because this warehouse, the large warehouse and the underground warehouse, these two are 3 by 3 blocks. We now have a warehouse of 3 by 2, but that will be upgraded later. And we need to build a complete new one to upgrade it. So that's why we do this. So we basically are prepared for the future already. Right, now all the beavers are sleeping, so I'm gonna push the time along a little bit. As soon as this dries out, then this whole creek is just gone. So what we want to do, we can build a dam. Now as this states, it blocks water, but allows some to pass through a spillway at the top. And if we take a look at this one and zoom in a little bit, you can see that. Can we see that? Well, not clearly, but there, right here, there is an opening. So that means that if we put a dam right here, now we can see like this. Yeah, there we go. So there's a little opening at the top. Now this means that the water will bunch up to this level, then flows over, but that also means that the water here stands higher than it is now, which also means that if this dries out, then the creek doesn't dry out immediately. In this game we also have evaporation, but that doesn't go as fast, so that means that we can have this water stream here longer before it completely dries out. Right, so they built the small warehouse. Now in the warehouse we can say we want berries here or we don't. You can basically say where you want what, and at the moment we only have berries and we have wood. But we have these for wood, but as you can see we get books, bread, carrots and all kinds of stuff. So it's very broad. For now we are just gonna leave it like this, and he is just gonna fill it with berries, probably to the brink. We already have our second tank done, and they are just building. We do have one unemployed, however, so I'm gonna put him right here. And we need to think about the next part, which is more food. We do have the berries, but if you look at this, we also want carrots, grilled potatoes and bread. Now, if we go to the food, we can build a farmhouse. I'm gonna build a farmhouse right here, so we can serve this area and this area once the trees are gone. And we're gonna place a second one, which we're gonna put on a lower priority to construct. Now, while this is being built, we're gonna speed up the time, and we can plant crops. Now we want carrots, so we are going to put a carrot field right here. And at the moment there won't be any carrots sown because the farm isn't done yet. Now here we have a little icon which indicates that this one is full. So basically what we want for the first drought is, well, no, not only for the first drought, for every drought we want to stockpile water. So we want all the tanks to be full. And it is nighttime again, so we are going to continue to plan a little bit. Right, this one is going to be built. We want some houses as well. Basically what the idea here is that this will be the industrial district and here will be the houses. And let's see. That's one with a path. Like that. Like that. We have two choices of houses. So we have a mirrored house and the normal house. They both house 3 inhabitants at the moment, and the rest we can unlock. Okay, so we want 8 houses to start with, but we don't want them to build these yet. We need a path on this side, we need a path on this side. And the path needs to be connected, like that. Now this farm is built as well, so as soon as we can designate some workers for here, then we can start planting the crops. And we already have one farmer here. We had one kid grow up, so that became a farmer, that one became a farmer, and the next kid will also become a farmer. This one is planting away. I forgot something, so I'm gonna pause the game real quick. The construction site is too far from builders, and that is because I didn't connect this with a road, which is dumb. So we need to do that. Let's go in the middle right here and there. And now they can start building this as well. And like I talked about earlier, this now becomes yellow, which means that this is getting to the end of the district. We can go a little bit further, but this is a long way for them to walk already. So we're gonna set these on high priority, and this one cannot be built because this one isn't built. As soon as this one is built, let's put a path over it. As soon as this one is built, then they can also do this one. Takes a lot of logs, but it is worth it. So what else do they need? We are providing, we are building the shelter, so that will come. We are taking care of the carrots as well. They are done here. Grilled potatoes we are not going to do yet. We are going to do that a little bit later. and social life. We can probably build a campfire. Social, leisure. Yes, we can build a campfire. And we can build a rooftop terrace. We're gonna build this one first. And the campfire is just for them to sit at and leisure. Right, science points. I've pointed out to this multiple times now. The science points, as you can see here, almost every menu has something locked. And it states that for 250 points, we can unlock this. Here, like the wooden stairs, for 70 points. For that, no, that's one. For that, we need an inventor. And the inventor, every 3.1 hours, we get 3 science points. That here at the top, we can see that we have 0, which is correct. We haven't done anything yet. So we want to place an inventor. We're going to place it here, and we're going to alter this a little bit. Put this like this, and remove these 2 roads. And here we can put something else later, like a shrub or something like that. So the beavers are happily beavering around. We can take a look at the dams, how far they are. And the first one is already built. Now the second one is on the way. But now with the first one we can already see that the water is higher than it was. Now with the second one in place, the water doesn't get higher. However, it does mean that the water is totally blocked from half a block. So that means when the drought comes, it stays at half a block and then it gradually evaporates. But it should hold us for the first, hopefully the first 2 and maybe even 3 droughts. But especially the first one will be covered for now. And there we go. If we slow the game down, then you can see that the water, which we need for later, because we can put, we need power for stuff to run. And if we put in a water wheel, then let me find a patch. And let me see. It's all running. Not a real good example at the moment. Well, basically what I'm trying to show is that, as you can see here, the water is streaming quite fast. And there are places where it isn't. Oh, you can see it here a little bit. On this side the water streams quite fast, and here it just slows down. So if we were to place a water wheel right here, then it would turn. And if we would place a water wheel right here, then it would sometimes turn. We need to take that into account. And for now we just have this, so we won't have any problems with dead spots, except for here perhaps a little bit, but the rest will be just fine. I'm gonna speed it along. These guys have planted everything that they can. And if we click on it, we can see the growth process is 45%. And why is... and here's a spot that he cannot reach. Okay, so let's remove that. Like so. So as you can see, you need to be within the boundaries, otherwise he just won't do it. Now we probably... this one probably would have taken care of that, but... okay. They are now building this one, I think. No, they are building this one. And we also have the 4 houses, so we now, nobody is homeless. So for shelter, we will have 11 out of 11 once all of them have visited their home. The thing with this game is that we now have this forest right here. We have some here, but we cannot reach that at the moment. We don't have any stairs. And the same for here. We are stuck on this ledge. Which well, we need wood for stuff to build. So if we go to the wood tab, we have a forester which plants trees and bushes. However, this costs 60 science points. So before we are starting to build this one and this one, we need to finish these two. So we're gonna set these both to high. So they are gonna finish these two first. Right, as you can see, our little beavers from the farmhouse are now gathering the carrots. We already have 15 in stock. Right, now we come again to the problem of the wood, because we are nearly out. And well, we need a sustainable way for the wood to grow again and again. So we need a forester. We are almost at 60 points. However, for the forester we need logs and planks. We don't have any planks because we need a lumber mill to make them. And if we look at the lumber mill, then the lumber mill here, it takes one beaver, one worker, and it requires 50 horsepower. Otherwise it doesn't work. And horsepower we get from this. We get from either the water wheel, like I explained a minute ago with where we need to put it, or a power wheel that is driven by one of the beavers. So we can choose between the two. Now the water wheel is more expensive, 10 more logs than the other one. And because we are already down on wood, we are going for that. Plus the water wheel will stand still in the water once the drought comes, because the water then doesn't stream anymore and doesn't power the water wheel. So that means that we can power one lumber mill with the beaver powered wheel. Hang on, let's quickly pause this one. And the rest of the logs we first want to put into this. So we want a lumber mill. Do we want it here? Perhaps here. If we do it here, we can eventually do a road around it as well. So we want the lumber mill, that is going to cost us 15 logs. And then we want the power wheel, which is going to cost us 40. Right, so we can place that right here. And as you can see, we have two sides. With the front arrow that's on this side, let's say, that is where the beaver will get into the wheel. And the other side is a little blue cogwheel. And that is connected now to here. So they are going to build that. We need to connect this one so they can get into the wheel. And now we just have to wait till this is built. Right, so I'm pausing the game for a second, because we just got the warning the drought is incoming in 3 days. You get a beeping noise and you see it here on the screen. I'm going to unpause the game again. We need 35 logs to go. Basically, we are ready for the first drought. We have 3 days to prepare, in essence. However, we already did that. We built a dam right here, and that makes the water go higher. So we have a little bit of a stockpile. The first drought shouldn't be too long, hopefully. I'm not sure how random it is, but in my test games it was about 3 days. 2 or 3 days, the first one. So again, I'm not sure how random it is, but it should be fine, hopefully. But we will see. In the meantime, while we were skipping ahead, I needed to remove one of the lumberjack flags here and put it right here, because it was blocking the path to here. So we now have one less here and one here. It's not a really big deal. Just a little change. And once this is done, this should also, there we go, also gather a little bit of this area right here. But mainly right here. Right, so meanwhile, while I was talking, the days are counting downwards. We are now at 26, 27 logs, so we still need some more. And I'm gonna zoom in a little bit and speed this along until we are at 40. And there comes the last log. Base building, and there we go. So we now have this complete as well. As you can see, the icon above here states that it needs power. Like it's here, building needs power to operate, connected to a power generator. And no unemployed beavers in the district, which both is very true. We now have connected it, but only until this starts running. And then the icon disappears. But that is going to be it for this episode. Now in the next episode we will deal with our first drought and see how that will go. And then we will take it from there. So thank you very much for watching. I truly hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like so we can spread this video around. And also if you have any suggestions or questions, then please put them down below. That is it for me. Stay safe and see you next time. Bye bye.